There you go. I lost everyone. Tap for sound.
All right, you guys, welcome to tonight's show. It's an impromptu show. We're live on my own Facebook. We're live on Dene Yate. We're live on Indigenous Podcasts. We're live on my YouTube channel, and we're live on Twitch. So, Fancy. My name is Nathan, and I'm coming from Red Pheasant First Nations in the Treaty 6 area. To my left is
Willis Janvier, Hussein Taylor's Tools in Laloche, Saskatchewan, Clearwater River Dene Nation band member at the SQ, and doing Zinega Treaty 4 territories, Halhun Tati Donedley Masicho. Thank you for joining us here tonight.
Yeah. And so tonight, you guys, we're going to introduce you to these two ladies real quick. But tonight, we're just shooting a quick chat. It's not going to be a long one, but we're going to talk about the importance of why Indigenous language podcasts are important, such as Willis is here to the left, who you guys know from Dene Yate. Some of you guys are watching from Dene Yate. Some of you guys might be watching on another channel, but the Willis here does his podcast in pure Dene, and it's a beautiful thing to hear. So I've been pushing someone to start a Cree language podcast, and lo and behold, we might have two young ladies here that might want to do one. So right below me here, I'm gonna enlarge you guys. This is Melissa Beatty. Go ahead and introduce yourself.
Hi, my name is Melissa Beatty. I'm from Patnagutunida, the Shambo Lake. That's it.
That's it. And the big incident, so Patnagutunista. I want to see Miss Sonata Lucia. I say it.
I have no clue what they said, but that's what I'm talking about, guys. That's exactly what I'm talking about. The importance of Indigenous language podcasts. We're always trying to teach, but I think when you start teaching, it kind of burns you out, right?
Yeah.
Because Edna actually is a teacher. Mm-hmm. I work at a school, and I see teachers just go, and at the end, you just don't want to teach anymore. You kind of want to just do you, and so I think that's why, the way Willis does his podcast, it's just a conversation. He's just having fun with it. And there's no, this is how you say this is how you say that. This is, what this means and everything. It's just a conversation. He's talking with elders. He's talking with youth. He's talking with people of all ages. And Willis, what do you think?
Yeah, I get some of that too. I tell people, yeah, maybe you can teach or something, but I say I'm not a teacher. I will say, hey, this what this means, or right now, a lot of things I'm trying to do is maybe figure out the origins of words. Just like in the Cree language, we have origins, and something I found out watching TikTok too was Willis Ntsigasin. It's a connection to your grandmother or belly button or something, right? That's what it actually means, right?
Yeah,
and,
yeah.
Something like that. So, but I do, when people ask me, I will. But I'm not a teacher. I'm just a host, and it can be draining for sure. But it's all good, And just like in my intro, there, I always try to do that, just to have that connection. To where I'm from. So just like you ladies did.
Yeah. If you guys are wondering if we sound sick, I'm just getting over COVID. Willis has COVID right now. Oh. Melissa has COVID right now. Edna here is the only pure soul that doesn't have COVID.
Why did you tell him I'm sick? I thought I'd pull off a sexy voice here.
You gotta be
snotty.
6 feet away here.
But yeah, you guys, so like I said, you guys, like the description of the whole podcast thing is it's all about Indigenous language podcast. The first time I ever watched Willis was in December. I had a coworker that knew him, and then showed his thing, and then I started watching it, and it was all in Dene, and it was like quick little the Omicron group. It was just a quick little. He was saying it in Dene, but I mean, they were just quick little spiels, and it was just good to listen. I have no clue till this day. I know a few there's like 2 words I know it, Lanate and Nezu, but it's still nice to listen to an indigenous language
it
podcast,
is.
and just to hear it, like they say, our language is healing, and and any indigenous language, Dene, Lakota, Cree, Lakota, whatever language you want to listen to, and that's indigenous, it's kind of like a magical thing to hear.
Mhm.
So I know Willis showed something on his Snap chat.
Yeah,
Some
I did.
lady. Go ahead, tell us about that.
I am the university got a grant. They started a project called Indigenous Language Project, and she
Nice.
said, I thought we'd be competing with other indigenous languages in podcasting, and there isn't. I could be wrong, but from her, coming from other people too, that I am the only one that does indigenous language podcast. Maybe CBC or something like that might have a Cree. I don't know, but
Chiswa.
yeah. Hey, I hope you ladies do, but yeah, and that's something I'm proud of too. I don't tell people, I'm just a Deneati, but to have that and Dene content, out there to provide that to the rest of Dene country. I'm proud of that for sure. Thank you.
Definitely.
Man, that is huge, man. Just when I seen that Snap, man, Willis, I ain't gonna lie, man. Like, I almost teared up, but I smiled, pretty proud, man. I was like, that's pretty badass. Like, to be known as that only person, but at the same time,
At the same
it's
time,
sad. At the same time, it's sad, and I say it's sad because there's so many people out there that speak an indigenous language that should start a podcast but don't know how.
I
Right.
even have Cree listeners, that
right here.
so like they would. I mean, let me ask you, ladies. I mean, what interests you in this, or what's your vision, maybe, to get started?
Mhm.
Well, for me, it was like I miss home. It's like I can't even speak Cree with anybody around me. It's just to bring a little bit of home with me. And I'm a teacher too, and I don't think that a half hour two times a week is enough. And I use TPR, I use ASLA. I do Cree songs, I do the Cree prayer daily, I do puzzle of the week, I do memes, songs, SRO worksheets, and it's not enough. And I've been doing this for a lot of years. And I was looking at the Facebook groups, and there's one lady who has started a group that's called Learn Cree with Me. Kathy Wheaton-Bird, I don't know if you ever heard of her. Well, anyway, she said, listening to fluent Cree recordings daily from speakers in different places using different dialects and especially faster speakers has really accelerated my ability to understand Cree, she says. Before, the Cree in the far north of Saskatchewan, South End, Grandmother's Bay seemed impossibly fast. Now it's much easier. Now it's much easier to understand. Cree skills take a lot of straight Cree conversation, even if it's fast. It's great for listening to elder stories, she says. So yeah, it's stuff like that inspires me and to start something like this. And I just got to remind myself, it's not about perfection, it's about the purpose.
Yeah, it's just about starting, and that's
Yeah.
that's the big one. That's where everyone thinks they need to have all their ducks in a row.
Yeah.
Start this. I started with a phone. I literally went up to people and asked in malls, "Can I put you on my podcast on the phone? Add me on Facebook, and then we'll talk." And then that's what we did. Literally just through a phone. Willis just picked up an iPad and put his phone under there. He had an iPad that was recording like this, had his phone under here, and like we record it and just talk. Like, you just gotta start, right? You just have to start. It doesn't matter how, you just start. Everyone has a phone, and majority of us have internet, and that's how you start, and then you just build from there. And that's what people need to realize. And yeah, you're right. And my mom actually said the same thing, that she's older in age, but she said the same thing. She said, I miss speaking Cree because I don't get to really speak it with anybody anymore. Like my great aunt just passed away here recently, and she would always visit her and then speak Cree all the time, right? And hear stories.
No.
So yeah, it's that's why I think Willis has such an amazing podcast.
Yeah.
He's in the same boat. He gets to speak Dene every single day now, and it's just having that conversation with people online, right?
Where do
Mhm.
you live? Where do you ladies live?
Well, I live in Saskatoon right now. I commute to Duck Lake Beardy's Okamasu School. That's where I
Yeah.
teach.
I live in Deschambault Lake, in Musumpwatnak. It's in northern Saskatchewan.
Yeah.
So that's where fluent Cree, I get to speak it, and
Hmm.
so
Every day.
I do, yeah, every day at work and at home, and except with when I'm outside of work when I go south, and then I really
Yeah.
can't. So I get that when she says that it's to bring home with her, where like being in Saskatoon. I totally get it. And for me, why I wanted to start a podcast was it's just to share it, to speak it, and but also it's very humorous, and I was asking earlier, well, what if I start swearing, like I know in Cree, I tend to, my mind goes in the gutter right away because it's so easy to, how we say things in Cree. It's like the English version when you say, "Oh, that's what he said," or "That's what she said." Like there's a lot of that, so it's very very humorous, and I love that, and I just want to share that, and also just I guess the everyday, right? Because it can get boring if you're just in a classroom. So, which is what I want to get away from that. This is just every day, you and me, no, there's no professor here, or, I don't have these high tech skills like that you guys have, but you're talking that you didn't always have that. So,
Yeah.
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 More natural,
That's
hey?
Yeah, exactly.
and that's true too. Excuse my COVID. But
Right.
you know, it's the language is just tied to everyday living and the land too,
Mhm.
especially. But I live in Moose Jaw. My daughter, she's half Munyo, and even her too. Like even trying to teach her, I have a hard time to continue on in Dene,
Mhm.
where like it's just English because I know that's our surroundings. But if we go and visit my family, that's all I speak. I
Yeah.
call my mom. That's all I speak. So I
Yeah.
know what you feel like, and that's one of the reasons why I continued on with Deneyasi is because I lived in Fort McMurray, and I would go on YouTube and try to find videos of Dene people speaking like you got ladies want, and I started university and a few videos, and here I'm still doing. That's how it all came about for me.
Nice.
Nice.
And that's all it takes, ladies. That's what's yeah, I literally, how this podcast right now is starting is I messaged Edna, who's doing a Chase the Ace, and a lot of people know me from Chase the Ace. So she put something on Snap, and I figured she was putting Chase the Ace, so I asked what's up. Then all of a sudden, this conversation about Indigenous languages came up in podcasting. I said, "Hey, you guys should come on here." So the goal is to get these two ladies who are sisters to start podcasting in a fun way, just like Denny Yatra does. But I meant at the same time, everyone listens and enjoys them, and hopefully, it spawns other people
Yes.
who, at the same time. You guys remember that? It's just like there's gas stations everywhere. It's
Mhm.
just whatever preference you like. So I mean, if you guys are and if you're watching out there, if you're speaking Dene, start a podcast if you can. If you're speaking Cree, start a podcast. It doesn't matter, just start one, and
Mhm.
you'll get your own crew that like to watch you and listen to
Yeah.
you. Like these ladies I know speak TH, and like
Yeah.
in my area we're wide dialect.
Mhm.
For me, I sometimes catch the difference of it, but I mean my Cree is lower than it should be. But I mean like my mother who's fluent in Cree, she can catch, sometimes they're listening, they understand what TH, swampy, wide dialect, all that, so I don't know. I think there's so much need for Indigenous language podcasts for people like Willis's daughter, myself, my daughter. I think a lot of other people too that are not fluent in the language but want to start learning. And I would listen all day to a Cree podcast to slowly catch on. You know what I mean? Because you would slowly catch on. You would
You will.
slowly catch,
Yeah.
Yeah, you
right?
do something every day. There's no way to go but up,
Mm-hmm.
Copy.
That's what my daughter says too. You gotta when I do speak, we do like a Danny word a day now, and she says you gotta add English to it. That's how kind of Cree is for me too. It's like we just gotta find new ways to teach each other. I think.
Yeah, the Kringlish we call it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What do you
Kringlish.
call it? Kringlish?
Kringlish.
Kringlish?
Yeah, we throw in upsies at a time,
Yeah. Well, I
until
mean,
people start
honestly,
understanding upsies.
Mhm.
yeah. See,
Yeah.
at my school, like a lot of the older ones there, they speak Cree there, and then they'll say a few words. So you start catching on, right? You start catching on to the words,
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
No,
then I'm starting to use them. Like I'm starting to really use tapwe lots and little words like that. Just using them along everyday life, but trying to add a different word in there every day, and hopefully be able to say 2, 3, 4 sentences soon.
That's good. That's how.
Yeah.
Good, you're doing it.
That's what I'm learning now. It's Cree 101, I think.
We're sad to miss it on no sit. My grandcat.
See, and that's exactly right there. That little thing you guys just did there, talking about a
I
cat.
know what they pronounce it. Squat.
Yeah. See?
The miss too.
The mess.
A spin.
A spin for what they beneath. I threw him out.
Got a comment here. 2022 to 2032, a decade of language revitalization. There was a conference a few weeks ago. I know
That's
what
right.
you mean.
United Nations declared it.
I can catch some conversations in Cree and get the conversation. Right.
Nice.
Exactly. And I don't know who's watching from Deneate, but I mean, I wonder if that's I remember reading in some comments when I was watching some of his shows that somebody was saying they're like, I'm Dene, but I don't know my language, but I'm sitting here tuning in, listening. Right.
Mhm.
And just to go back to that thing where like that's where you're learning, right? And it doesn't have to be, you guys don't have to have a whole curriculum in front of you to start this podcast. It's like shooting the shit, man. Like just having a conversation.
Having a conversation,
To
yeah.
whoever.
Okay.
Yeah.
I want to say something on that too. It's like a lot of times I'm in a radio class now too, and somehow and so I kind of train with Munoz and that teach their way from CBC and all that stuff. And when you put the two together, the Indigenous language and that style, it doesn't go along together. I mean, you can try to do, but because we're just kind of all over the place when we talk,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
It can go to this and this and try to focus. I mean, you can definitely do that in you just have to find your own way.
Yeah.
But it's a lot of trial and error, but it's also a lot of fun too, and look at, we got 30 people watching. Yeah, we're gonna speak Cree here in a bit.
Yeah. If you guys are tuning in, these ladies will be going on their own we're gonna give them like 10 minutes of their own time to kind of just start off their podcast and yeah, maybe give it a name too. I don't know if you guys are thinking of a name, but
Yes.
Res girls.
Northern girls. Northern. How would you say
She's
northern?
them Cree girls.
Yeah.
Hey.
How would you say that in Cree? How would you say
That's
north?
Seen them.
No, northern. Northern. Northern.
Kiwit no.
Iowa.
Kiwit.
Kiwit no.
Kiwi-
Kiwit no gisquilk.
Kiwit no squeal.
Was
I wasn't. More than you know,
There you go. Your
what's-
podcast can be
that got
called what?
rejected.
Yeah.
was the
Let's see.
We
How
didn't
do
like
you-
that one.
How do you say come again?
A stump.
Stump.
A
Okay.
stump. A
What's
stump.
oh, just squash, just wait, huh?
Gisqua.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just-
There's
Yeah.
okay. Astotin is hat.
Uh-huh.
Yes.
Ape is sit.
Mhm.
Is it
Egito.
Okay. One thing with Cree is there's too many Dene is harder, but with Cree you gotta learn like the plurals. I think singular.
Yeah.
You really gotta know what is what. You know,
what do you mean by that? What is what?
it's
Like some points you use wak or uk or a.
yeah.
Like a
Correct.
wasak.
Is it like there in English or what?
Oasis. Suck.
Plural.
Oh, you're talking about all the endings like that.
Yeah, that's stuff that you at school. Like that's what the kids find dry.
Yeah.
Where like
Yeah.
so like more.
Don't wanna go
natural
there.
Conversation is more what I'm looking for. Like how you. It's like immersion, sort of. That's what we need.
Mhm.
And when you have it in a natural setting, it would be awesome. But this is the best that we can do right now, right? Podcasting. And I think it's good. What he's doing is working, right?
Yeah. I think this is the way.
Yeah.
I sound like a Star Wars guy.
Our guru.
This is the way. How do you say this is the way in Cree?
Mas eu me sei.
This is the way. There's you guys' show. This is the way. But if you think about it, look at how many people are going to be scrolling in bed in the morning, at night, whenever, and they're going to be watching your shows just because you guys decided to go. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I mean, that's why I think there's such a huge reach with podcasts that while you're driving, a lot of people don't listen to music anymore. They listen to podcasts. What's that comment?
Mm-hmm.
I do.
Comment? We are teachers for our kids to keep their culture and language alive, and the schools are supposed to teach them about their culture and their language. Yeah. But, at schools, there's only so much. It's like when you go to university, a university can only teach you so much. You ask anyone where they've learned anything if they went to university, and they say, "Where did you learn everything?" Well, I learned everything on the job.
Yeah.
Flip that to literally in daily life. Where did you learn your language? Not at school. I learned a few words, but if I was, at home, you learn everything basically at home. Yeah.
That's where I learn. I mean, Dene is my first language, and Cree's probably your lady's first language, right?
Yeah.
Mhm.
I mean, we just gotta. I think sometimes we just overthink everything. We're like, I mean,
I could see that. Yeah.
we can just. It's probably a podcast episode where you can, you ladies might see it in your communities where, the adults now are now just speaking English, even though they know Cree. You might have that situation, and it falls back on them. It's not the people before them, and it kind of, what do you call it? Kringlish?
Hi, Rebecca.
Yeah. So kind of becomes the norm, like a
Yes.
habit.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So
Sometimes though too, when we're like, I like to speak Cree whenever I have a chance to, but I know when there's people that don't understand it, then I don't speak it because I don't know. I think it's rude or, It's like I don't want people automatically thinking that oh, they're probably talking about me. Because I know we do that. I know my sister and I do that when we're in a situation where, you know, we don't like so and so or whatever. Somebody was rude to us, or you know, with customer service or whatever. If we want to say shit,
think we
then
all
we
do
like
that.
we'll, we'll say it.
I think anybody who speaks another language does that.
The classic example when you go into a nail salon.
Oh yeah,
I wonder if they're saying shit about me.
I know.
Right? Hey, are they saying I'm gonna speak English? Because you know, they're not saying what you're thinking. You know,
That
they
is so-
continue on in their own language. French
Mhm.
people continue on. Why do we have to, you know, stop ourselves for someone
that
else?
that is true. That I think we're just brainwashed to that we have to be. If I could speak fluent Cree, there's no way in hell I would stop. Be all the time, and I told
Nathan Chiswa.
yeah, stop it. I would. I told Willis if I knew Cree, man, like it would just be my podcast would be all in Cree. That's it. You know, the odd time I would kick in with English, but all Cree. Yeah, no. So you guys, we were bringing them on. Me and Willis will kind of show them the nose and the hows of how to start a podcast. But I mean, this is their first time doing it. So what do you guys think so far?
I recognize one lady, Rebecca.
yeah.
Did you see that? She said hi.
Rebecca Wolverine now.
Wolverine, yeah.
Oh,
Wolverine.
that's Rebecca. Yes.
I know. Okay, yes.
She's Wolverines are from Lalanche, aren't they?
Pachinak.
Nope.
That notes
Pachinak.
Pachinak notes. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
She was in Pelican for a while. That's how we met her.
Yeah. So anyway, what do you guys like? What do you guys think so far?
I have relatives in Pinehurst, not a Moggins.
Oh.
Our
Auntie's from there. Maryland.
I don't know who they
Maryland.
are, but my great grandmother was Cree, so
We're all related.
that's why I'm still single, eh?
Everyone's related.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, here's Kim, who is Métis. What did he say? And good, we are getting it in the U of S, but we need it outside the community. Yes. Like yeah, even Michif. Yeah, like to keep Michif alive, right? Like, you know, they like that. That would actually be cool if I knew someone who spoke Michif. I would try to convince them to get on to a podcast.
Yeah.
I know, right? That'd be so cool.
You don't really hear it. You don't actually really ever hear Michif spoken. You know, I don't think I've ever heard it. Someone actually speak
Kinda
Michif.
like-
I think we adopted a little bit in Cree, like we say ni mama. Plus we just set up nika, you know, when you call your mom. We say mama and papa instead of nutawe.
Yeah.
You know, so there's a little bit of mixture of all different languages, even La Fouchinette, the fork, and stuff like that.
Huh.
Michif is a lot of French influence, I believe.
Yeah.
So it's mixed with Cree, right? Like Michif.
Yeah.
French and Cree. Yeah.
English.
Kim's actually a he can sing. I've had him on my podcast before. Kim. Gotta get him on here. Maybe he'll sing Michif.
Singing Cree. Edna will sing in Cree.
Edna will back him up. He'll sing in Michif. Edna will sing in Cree.
Yeah.
Look at that. Michif can be mixed with all languages.
Yeah.
See?
Well,
Fisher. Kim Fisher.
so many elders in the north. They knew French, Cree, Dene, you know, and not even English. That was weird, you know. They knew Cree, Dene, French, Michif, and they wouldn't have known English. Some elders are like that. It's weird.
Yeah, that's how our grandpa was. He knew like how many languages, Melissa?
Oh my gosh.
There
were so many, yeah. Our grandmother, she didn't even speak English. She only could only write syllabics, Cree syllabics.
She took us to town to translate for her.
I remember when we'd be wrapping her gifts and then the names would be in syllabics and I'd be like, what does this say? And then she would teach me. But I forget now, like syllabic so hard. But
Hmm.
she didn't speak a word of English. It was just all Cree.
Mhm.
Can you
And that's
ladies
how it
wait?
was over here for us too. Like we didn't learn English until
Melissa failed kindergarten.
That's right.
So did
I did. I had to go to what do they call it? Readiness?
Readiness. We had to go to readiness to have like a crash course of English after
Yeah.
because they realized we couldn't speak
I
English.
couldn't speak it. After being in kindergarten, and he's just like, this little kid
We
can't
had that
speak.
too. We had that too when I was.
Yeah?
Yeah. I'm pretty sure, yeah.
Same deal.
Sounds familiar, anyways. But do you know how to write in Cree?
SRO pogo. What the syllabics?
Not syllabics.
I
know how to write
understood
in
you.
Cree. Yeah, and I can
SRO.
read it.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
we're
Oh yeah.
Huh.
Is there any broadcast for the Inuit? None that I know, but I mean, like again, it would just be an amazing thing.
yes.
Beginning
Uh,
Cree right here.
Any language, like there needs to be a movement somehow. Maybe this is the start of it. That this podcast right now is the movement. Like I already know Aniate started his one, but I mean, maybe there's a movement happening, right?
Mm-hmm.
I know last year there was
There
a big movement of Indigenous podcasts just popping up everywhere in English majority. But I mean, which is good, which is really, really good. That's a start. But I think now we need to move on to Indigenous Language Podcast.
Mm-hmm.
And tell people, like, listen, if you do, like I said again at the beginning of the show, if you do speak the language, an Indigenous language, you don't have to come on. Don't think of it as a job to teach because you're going to burn yourself out. Just come on and just shoot the shit like this
It's
with
gonna be
somebody
boring.
else. That somebody else speaks the language of whatever Indigenous language you speak, and just have fun with it. Then you're going to have people tuning in just to listen to you, just to learn, and other Indigenous language speakers are going to just tune in just so they can hear that language, right?
Yeah.
Watch.
Well, now you know how you guys started. It's going to be like shared with everybody else, and they could start their own. Like, I didn't know how to start this. Like, I'm so thankful for you guys.
Yeah, and there's a lot of grant money out there, everyone. There's a lot of grant money out there for you guys to access if you want to make this thing like an everyday thing where you just do it for a living. I know there is a lot of grant money out there. You just got to find it.
Exciting.
Part of the Truth and Reconciliation. There's one of them on there that it's
business. It even I always sometimes I have Cree people listening to me too. So I think I hope you start it. All you need is a phone and a website called Anchor to distribute it. And that's all you need. You could record yourselves and then post them online for people to hear. And I think
it's not as hard as you think. Like when he says post it on Anchor, like this thing right here, if anyone's watching where you're using StreamYard, and what it does is like it automatically records the video and the audio. So you can just download the audio and put it on what he said it was Anchor, which is free, and then it just distributes it to all the. Where does it go on Anchor?
Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google, Anchor itself. Those are the main ones you kind of know.
Yeah. It's free. And then, like I said, people would just be driving, they'll throw on Spotify, and then they'll, Indigenous podcast, and you guys would pop up and then just play while you're driving.
Nice.
Cree. It's exciting, isn't it? What do you ladies think?
I'm excited.
I'm excited.
Nervous?
I mean, just to visit in Cree is good enough, but to have people listening and to learn from it, that's the purpose, right? To keep our language alive. I'm excited.
Is anyone watching right now? Because we're probably going to end this unless you guys want to go on more, but I think we're going to end this, but we're going to give these ladies like 10 minutes of their time. Is there anybody out there right now who was fluent in Cree, where I could call you right now and you guys will come onto the show on the phone and then kind of just, you could give an example of how the podcast would go. And if you guys are Denny, if you guys watch Denny Ate and listen to me, kind of already know what I'm talking about. If you're Cree though, let me know right now. I'll call you right now and then I'll throw you guys to the show. Let these ladies- Yeah. But you guys gotta talk machine gun Cree. Then.
Medyo mustayan. Tingnan yung last kami na po.
I know some people right now, but I'm just trying to see if they're. You know who? What I'm gonna call Blair. I'm gonna call Blair.
Namoya is no. Namoya. No.
No.
Namoya. Aha.
Muda.
We say mods.
Mods.
We use that too. Mods. Not even.
We use as if. We use net. We use e.
Like that.
All right, I'm gonna call Blair.
Niga we. My mom. Nigga.
Blair.
Oh,
Blair Siniduit.
Remember Blair? Blair
There's a
Dillon?
different Blair. Ah.
Blair Dillon. I don't know if he's
Does he know you're calling him?
probably watching right now.
I know Blair from school. I used to go to school with him.
Oh, he's not answering. Is this a 4 different language in Cree? Is this for 4 different language? No, these 2 ladies are TH dialect. Willis is NA, and I'm just like Say Blair.
Hey, brother, how's it going?
Hey, brother, I want to tell you right now, you're live on a podcast right now, okay?
Blair. Hi, Blair.
Hey, Blair, you remember Melissa and Alan?
Oh, yeah, I remember them.
Hi, Blair.
Hey, how's it
Blair.
going? Hey,
How are you?
I'm good.
Sige, taga mo yung sin.
Huh?
Sige, taga mo yung sin.
Oh, monkey great. Just I'm living that dairy life.
Blair, I called you because Melissa and her sister Edna are going to be starting an Indigenous Language Podcast.
Oh,
and
nice.
that's what we're on. We're live right now.
Oh,
and
nice.
Then we kind of wanted to give the audience like a preview of Melissa and Edna's show with someone who else is fluent, because we talk about a lot of Cree speakers mishearing the language.
Oh,
whereas
okay,
you bring it on like this. This is a good way.
Oh,
okay.
nice.
So stay on the phone real quick. I'm gonna say peace out to everybody.
Okay.
Not you, Blair. Blair, you stay on.
Oh.
The ladies are gonna have a conversation with you.
Jeez.
So go ahead, Deneate.
Just put him on the spot. What a guy.
Yeah, I always do. All right, he's out of here. So, ladies, I want to say thank you. You guys stay on after you're done talking, and then I'll end the live, and then I'll show you guys the rest of the stuff here. But you guys, thanks for tuning in, and check these ladies out. You're gonna see them soon. I'll be promoting their page, whatever name they come up with, and you guys can go on there and see the future of their show. All right.
All right, Masicho.
All right. Go ahead, ladies.
Eguse.
That's the moment that you tweet out with the. Oh, there I am.
Kacho mustok mesido ay tagagi pinigini ni stamuti na ay pitutin.
Kan stam na uti stamuti kay tutiak.
Blair's on the phone right now.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
When he's to Blair.
That's a Blair.
Masimatagin tutago na wista. Blair is to toy na kay tuak. Katsumustat nan stamuti saskatuni intewa patemak. E yung masku gaso.
Paskat sleep person nails iskawagwag.
Mas kasi yan na yan tiga tagon tin. Igual speaking tayo mo gitu tayo. Hindi ka gusto ka mga yan. So, hindi ka po siya niya. It's ka ngayon sa
Serious kasi.
Mrs. kasi pamin nagatawa. Tapos
Taxi
Very
lang
sad.
tomat na stama. Ito, patsi pinigit.
Imagine stam like ka kasi diba sa city na ako naman taxi di mo naman
Masay kring lasag ako sitan mo nanto.
okay stama taxi yan tumak Respect ko pa ng handicap ones. Bitiniutan na yan tigapya.
Wala pa yung chairs with the pool. At the back one, tilta, nagatagi mo doon, imiteapis yagit.
Wala mo siya one tip is katagayot inside that vehicle.
My goodness, I'm just getting dizzy. Please pag there.
I've only done that once in my life. That
Like
was
what?
pretty funny though.
You go get up, Blair. What was your story? Your first time?
First time in the city, I don't think
Rutina.
that's sigigitnigan. Blair, kaya ba siya like that?
Puri miya opti mo na putapo.
I don't think he can hear. Go ahead, Blair. Go ahead.
Hello?
Hi.
I can't understand you guys' Cree.
Or some not fast. Some
You guys are fast.
may tataas na piyangayamiyak.
Fast na tigil.
Tanda mo, sige yan, Blair.
Ano yung late na niya? Wait, check if the sales tag. Ay, gana niya.
Oh, sasapaw tinigitutan.
Tandi.
Onion Lake.
Tandi. Oh.
Like,
Malaga was speak out. Can barely hear you. Speak out.
yeah, I can't really hear you guys. But yeah, fast na tigil.
It was anyone I know I just because we have pita ko ay magtataas na piyak. Some suya mag papiatak kung papiatak ay miyak.
Papiatak.
Oh.
May what's all with Hindi ba, hindi gusto ko na siwit. Ito ni wat, kaya hindi wapatit tagagawa na ito tayo wap may siya at kinusiwa. Ugawan mo siya hindi ko aspipitat.
Ugaw?
Ugaw ta mo ang notes.
Mathematics so I gonna please bring some over. Send some over.
I will. I wish I could show you. I should show you, but
Yeah, Maka. Yeah.
Matisa.
Oh, Maka.
I'm gonna put on my mask.
It looks like the man is. It looks like you guys are interviewing the man.
What?
I'm gonna show the man what the other man is doing.
I got Ernest Munoz as my background.
Oh.
I'm gonna show what the other man is doing. See, this is what my podcast is gonna be like. I'm not gonna be staying in the same spot for some of my shows. At night, see some for some of my shows.
Blair, we'll let you go, brother.
Okay, thank you.
I'm gonna show you Alan?
Wow.
Did you finish? Oh, look. Well, let's just go see you. Mucho you would be. What about the Luciano thing? So we're gonna see you. What am I? That's Cisco. Ugawa ka na tanong sa kapatid tagano sige sige.
Went fishing?
Fishing. He went ice fishing today. I wonder po that you see go. Muli hindi na nag-usi tayo with the COVID yan. But normally, I would be filleting, deboning. And I'll send some. Yeah, I'll send some your way for sure.
But yeah. Kasi naman gusto mo din ta si Magans.
Gusto na.
But
see may kasi tingap magutsun niya ti.
22nd na magutsun niya.
Hindi in Saskatoon. Hindi na may magutsun na siya.
Kita na may magutsun.
on my little car na tapos Jack. Si Maya sa nawap Maya pito dito mo si pit na tao.
Radar,
Tapos pas
dama
ko yan
sila.
si
Takot sa boy, pasko sa okay? Like, it was,
That's
look, what is it, shoot us? Was it radar? They
I
didn't know it
know,
was a
that's what
cop.
I thought.
Ricky just crowds down on the
What the first time sa ipantagawa mo ano yun?
The cop must have been wondering who was driving the car.
I know. I was crouching down on my chair thinking.
All of us are you.
I know. That was
It's like
funny
stuff
though.
like that we're not used to because we're from the north much. Hey?
Yeah, first time. We're just talking about our first
Our little shenanigans.
time in Saskatoon, I guess.
There.
Yeah.
Hey, I gotta cut in. What do you guys think so far? It's fun, eh?
It's
You
good. I
go,
like it.
you just go and you just have a conversation,
Uh-huh.
right?
It'd
Yeah.
be good, yeah.
I
Because
can't
then you
wait.
can talk about the crazy things our parents did me nakayas, you know, a long time ago, how they used to teach us things like how to get home early. They'd say like, don't stay out too late. Kasi bagwats use it like the bat will pee on your head and you'll go bald or something.
Yeah.
Little lessons like that.
Yeah, and then that same thing. That's when you guys bring on other guests, and you know,
Mhm.
you just hear their stories, but all spoken in the language, of course, right?
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
I
there you
know,
guys
it's gonna be
go.
fun.
I want to go chill because I'm not feeling. I'm starting to get sick again. Damn
I
cold.
know.
But you guys stay on real quick. But other than that, you guys, thanks for joining in tonight. Stay tuned. We will. I'm pretty sure Willis will promote you guys' show. I'll promote it, and we'll just keep promoting until you guys got a nice following, and hopefully this will, help spur other podcasts as well. So
For sure.
Thank you for having us, Nathan.
yeah, no problem.
See that? Tinigi. Hi, hi.
And ask for mitten.
Tinigi. Oh, right, hold on here. I got one comment here.
As well.
One thing that was a barrier from continuing with my language was when I said a word wrong, people would laugh at me. That is true. That is true.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, now that all person should do is say it again and pronounce it right. Yes, Chatelaine. Chatelaine, are you
No, that's not where the humor comes in. The humor comes in from the stories, not how you say the word.
Yeah. No, I know. I mean,
We would never.
Are you Cree, Lisa, or Chatelaine? That sounds funny, I think.
Lisa.
Chatelaine.
Lisa Chatelaine.
Let's say she's
That's a pretty name.
Chatelaine.
Chatelaine. I like that.
That is so true. That is why I think it's probably. Yes, I am. What are you? Are you Cree, Lisa? If you are Cree, say it, or just tell me in the comments if you are. But that is true. I think that's one of the biggest thing is that, and that's why I don't really speak it, like, because I have troubles pronouncing the words, right? And then you're like blah blah. And I've said something to an elder that turned out to be a sexual phrase when I was trying to say "beat the one." What's the other one that kind of sounds like that? It's like Pete the one or something like that. I want you or something like that. It just sounded different. I said it.
Yeah.
She's Plains Cree. Yeah. But yeah, you're totally right, Lisa. That's exactly. A lot of us feel like that. Like you're not the only one that's like that. It's all of us that sometimes we do get laughed at, and then you're like shit, and then you don't want to say anything like that anymore. So I think if you ladies start something like this, we're gonna be listening in, learning in the comments, all that stuff, and then you guys could help a lot of us Cree hungry souls that want to learn our language. Whether it be the THY, whatever dialect you are. Yeah. You guys get your show soon because you got people that here are wanting to tune in and that are very interested in listening to a couple Northern Crees. Oh yeah, Northern Crees. What's that? I'm out of here, you guys. You ladies want to say something real quick?
Thank you for having us, Tinigi, and I look forward to this new adventure.
Yes, and like Nathan said, I hope a lot of you start your own. Like I didn't even know how to start sounds of it is kind of easy. So
Really.
just get started. I hope a lot of people will start.
All right, you guys, we're out of here. Ladies,
Okay.
don't leave. Bye, everyone.